I might want to unmute myself. That is useful. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Ninja Monkey Gaming. I am Joe the Widget Wilson, your lead host, and I am joined by my amazing co-host this fine evening, and there's Chuck's pretty face taking up the camera right now. Everybody, Chuck, Mr. Mojo. Say hi, Chuck.
How's it going, everybody? Glad to be here tonight.
Since you were right there on camera, I figured what the heck. And we are joined, as always, by Justin Blatecki, a.k.a. Nevosi, the guy that was jumping around like a jumping bean 2 minutes before the show.
Hey, I was bored.
You were bored. That's a great reason.
Back and forth.
That's a fantastic
you
reason.
want to play Sims 4? Rock back and forth. Play Sims 4.
Okay, now you're creeping me out. James, the Jam Evil. Devo.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. I am the product of too much coffee, nicotine, and caffeine. Let's do this.
That's for a good show.
And he's live from Tennessee right now.
Broadcasting live from the fabulous mountains of Tennessee. These aren't the mountains, by the way. It's just a curtain.
That's the curtain blocking the mountains. Yeah, so James is on a remote location tonight, so it's interesting. He's got a lot of background noise from all his fellow gamers and his guild. Say hi to his guild. Hi.
Hi.
Everybody say hi.
Holla at ya, player!
They're not amused.
Not amused. All right, guys, we have a big show for you guys tonight, for the most part. Stephanie is no longer joining the show in a public place. It was a mutual agreement for her and us that she is going to be working now in the background of the show and for the network, which is going to be awesome. She's phenomenally good at that. So she has not left the network. She is still with us in the background, being awesome. So Chuck, my man Chuck over here, is now taking the place on the spotlight to talk about gaming every week, and this is exactly what we're getting into. Ninja Monkeys is your everything gaming show, and we are getting ready to get started right now. PAX East Part 2. And I couldn't figure out what the heck I was supposed to talk about, because I thought I got through most of things last week.
Yeah. I don't think you really missed anything.
Oh,
unless Chuck...
There were a few things. If you pull up, I think, Show 10's notes, it might still be there.
Might still be there. Foresight. However, the Talos principle, I got it, Chuck. You know, you can talk. You're allowed to.
Yeah. Sometimes words are just stronger than, well, pictures are stronger than words, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the flip-flop of that.
Yeah.
I personally like picture books, especially the ones that pop up.
Those are the best.
Those are my favorites. All right. The team with Utheros wanted to make some corrections on our show last week. I want to get this pointed out, that the NPCs do not come to you. You create the NPCs with your guild as you get bigger. You create the quest NPCs, you create different thingamajiggers. They didn't give me too much details about it, but they wanted to make that correction. Also, they wanted to mention that they have unique monster generation, which means that if you were out and about and a dragon landed named Smog and you killed it, you're the only person that will ever kill Smog. Cool. It will never generate again with that name, which I think is cool. Really cool. Yeah. It's basically a sandbox MMO, and the players literally create the world. They create the lore. They create the quests. They create everything. I mean, there are starter cities, things of that nature, that obviously that is built into the game as a safe haven. But we'll get more information on that game as we get it. So I just want to make those corrections. Also, the Principal Talos, we are going to be doing a review on it. I do have a code to do so. I'm just debating who's going to be the best host for it, because I'm not that great at puzzle games. And no one else has volunteered for that feature. So
I personally like the concept of fresh NPCs. I like the individuality. I like the concept of everything's going to be new. Even if it's the same model, it'll be a different name. Just a little change is always good.
Word.
Word to you.
Also, with Uthos, that video is like 2 years old of the game.
Yeah, they were
so
very
don't-
embarrassed that we played that last week.
Give us good, fresh content. We'll play good, fresh content.
Well, that they promised they're going to do that for us in the future.
Good.
So we'll make
Not
sure
for
we
us,
get-
but for you, for the
Yeah.
ones watching.
For the ones watching, we'll get some new videos for you guys when they give them to us, so you guys can see what it looks like now. They assured me that was before they did the graphic work in the game, which they've been apparently big into lately. We'll see how that game goes. All right, so that's about the last thing I think of. Gigantic rules. Still haven't gotten my alpha invite. I'm upset by that.
I haven't gotten one either.
We have been playing Legend of Eisenwald. Myself, Justin, and Chuck have been playing it this last week. We do have a review coming up for you guys in just a little bit.
Yes.
Next week's review, I did have one in mind, and I completely spaced it. Oh, Life is Feudal.
Oh, okay. Yep, we can do that.
Yeah, Life is Feudal. So Justin and I are going to get on that. If Chuck or James gets the notion to actually get the game, they can join in that as well. If not, that's cool. All right, you got a code, Chuck?
I don't have a code, but I got a pretty little flyer from PAX.
Oh.
And, again, this looks like a great game. We gotta try this out and get the code for it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get you another code, but
That's the big sandbox one that we were talking about, right?
yeah, it's
With all the boar's heads
interesting.
everywhere.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's the one that had the boar heads and everything around the walls at PAX. It's
I didn't
hard
think
to
you
play.
actually needed a code for it, though. I thought it was on sale on Steam
No,
right
you-
now.
yeah, you can
for
get it on Steam.
$29.99.
It is.
Okay. Gotcha. That's what I'll be doing.
They were awesome enough to give us a couple of codes to do the review on it. Just not enough for everybody on my team.
You're slacking.
If you're gonna give us four codes for reviewing your game, we need 4 codes.
4 different opinions.
4 different opinions gives you a better
You'll-
chance at a better score here.
And only one that really counts.
James. You would say that, James. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. All right. Well, James isn't actually doing the review today. Aw.
No, but I will sit here and look pretty.
So there was this. I met a really cool woman last night, and she had this question for me that her sons play Minecraft, and she wanted to know what is Minecraft.
I think
How
the
would-
better question is, what isn't Minecraft?
No, the question is, how would you guys describe it? Me, I kind of told her it was Legos for adults, if you will.
That's exactly
older
what I
kids.
describe it to my friends and family who've never seen it before. It is 3D Legos. It is 3D survival Legos with zombies and things that blow up
Hmm.
And things that go boom. Yep.
and things that go boom.
I like that explanation. I don't know if I could think of a better one than saying it's like Legos, because everyone knows Legos.
Yeah.
Go further. You can go further back in time and say it's like Lincoln Logs.
No, that's insulting people.
When we start busting out construction sets, then I'll know what we're talking about.
Sonny.
I feel like all you can make with Lincoln Logs though is log cabins. So
You can get Connects.
Connects or even Tinker Toys. Yeah,
You
it's
got,
kind of like a mix
Tinker
of
Toys are
those,
going
yeah.
way
I'm,
back.
I'm with James on this one, guys. Like, I don't know what else you can make but log cabins. So
Yeah, or like I made a wall. That was it.
A wall. I saw a person in Minecraft.
Probably the best one.
The very first thing they did was get a bunch of dirt and then build a pillar underneath them that went about 200 blocks high, and then try to figure out how to get down.
Very slowly and carefully. That's all I can recommend.
Very, very carefully, and a long time to do so. You know, he could have just thought about digging himself out, digging down to get rid of the blocks, but no, he gave up and decided to jump.
That may be the fastest way to do it.
Yeah. I think that was the fastest way to do it. Not exactly the smartest way and the safest way, but...
Definitely the fastest.
Alright, guys, let's get into the gaming news. There is some things to talk about, and we do have some interesting Nintendo news tonight. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna you guys might enjoy. The first thing on the list though is Elder Scrolls Online went buy to play as of yesterday officially, where
Buy to play?
if you bought the game, there is no longer a sub required to play it. You go right in and play it. It's not a free-to-play model, thank God.
Right.
Yes. And if you bought the game when the game released, then you just gave up on it, or because you just didn't like it, or you couldn't deal with the bots or anything. Well, good thing bots are gone. Most of the bugs are gone, and you can start your game back up again and just pick off right where you left off.
The game has dramatically changed since launch. I mean, it is literally
Oh.
a different game.
It's a
Miles
whole new
better.
game.
Yeah, they recently added the justice system, so you can you could actually steal, break into homes, murder NPCs, and get
And it
caught doing
actually
so.
means-
That's more
something
that's more my speed. Let's do that. I'll take one of those.
Pickpocket old ladies, stab old men while they're not looking in dark alleys. I mean, it's like New York on a Friday night, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Just
want to
don't
know.
expect-
They still. I know they've always had this in all the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games that you cannot kill children. I want to make sure that that's still in place.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't even know if I've seen a child yet in Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, and you know what? Now that you mention it, I don't think I have either.
I
Yeah.
could have swore I
I
had.
haven't seen a child. That's a great point.
Man, they just spawn them, I guess. They don't. They're not born. They're just put into the egg sacs, and they just kind of hatch at adult level.
Exactly. Ooh.
What? This show is going south very quickly.
Are we going to
Regardless,
South by
no
Southwest?
they added a champion system, which is a really cool system for the higher content. If you played Skyrim, you saw the constellation trees. They now have that 2.0 version in Elder Scrolls Online, and it's awesome
Yes.
because the points are shared between all characters.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
and
if
if
you-
you haven't been playing for a while and you're going to jump right back in, give yourself a good 45 minutes to start looking at your characters and weighing out stuff, because it will take you a while to figure out how you're going to build them up. And the old debate about stamina builds not working is no longer an issue, especially for those of you that are like me that play Nightblade's stamina build. You're going to be able to have a lot of fun real quickly.
That's
and
all I
stay
ever
tuned.
played was stamina build, and that was always viable. I always liked people who couldn't figure it out.
So it's more of like a tanky class, kind of taking
Or
the aggro.
melee. A lot of all the melee content of the game is based off of stamina. Melee abilities that are like from your weapon skill trees. That's all based off of stamina. Everything else, like any of the magic abilities, magic spells, that kind of thing, is off your magic. So it's just two different scenarios. And for a while there, that was the more viable. That came out of nowhere. That was the most viable way. But now that's not the case. Now you can literally play anything you want to play and be effective, which is the way they wanted in the first place.
Which is excellent, because I actually started playing. When I started playing as a Nightblade Khajiit, and I found the game to be, a lot of fun, time-consuming, but I was having trouble with the melee aspect of it, so
Yeah.
this should
Yeah.
help out considerably. I should
Yeah.
definitely hop back in.
Are you in DC or EP?
Daggerfall?
No.
That's Daggerfall coming
We'll figure that out after the
He's
show.
because
We'll-
he's out, Mary.
We'll get you back in.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I want to say that I was in the yellow, whichever the yellow was.
Yeah, he's out, Mary.
Al-Mary, boo.
Sorry.
We all played Daggerfall.
We can drag him in with us, Joe, and we can all play our ults.
Yeah, we'll drag him into Daggerfall, the good side. I
You wanna
played
know
all
more
the
about
stories,
Elder Scrolls?
man. They're really twisted. I like Daggerfall's a little bit less twisted than most.
Yeah, it is.
I think
It
the
is
most
less.
twisted was the Al-Mary Dominion. Those freaks.
The least of three evils, you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
They're
there's
all
no,
evil
there's no
somewhere.
good guys. There's just
Yeah.
guys.
Whatever your preferences. Really, I guess. They made a lot of changes to the AVA, which is their big PvP campaign. A huge zone that's all about PvP with siege weapons, all kinds of goodies. That's a lot more balanced now. It's actually entertaining to play it now. It used to be kind of a grind. It's a lot less of that now, and a lot more
Yes.
entertaining. The whole game itself has dramatically changed. It's definitely worth a shot if you've bought the game and like Justin said, just stop playing it, get back into it. You don't have to worry about a subscription anymore. It's a blast, and I'm saving up my crowns for that stupid, evil horse.
Oh, you want the horse mount? I haven't picked my mount yet. I'm thinking about getting that haunted horse though.
A haunted horse?
You haven't been to the Crown Store yet?
Yeah, spending money in the Crown Store, if my wife's listening, she'll be happy to know I'm not spending it in that store right now.
I was
Well, you
tempted to
should have
spend
crowns
$8
anyways,
for a
but-
little extra crowns to get that stupid horse. I'm just telling you, I was tempted. I could wait till next month and get it for free, but that's next month.
You don't have enough crowns already for it?
I have
thought you were subbed
2,000.
up longer.
I have 2,000. I was subbed up the entire time, and they only gave me 2,000.
Huh. It's like I have enough for it, and I'm subbed up less than you.
Yeah, I was
going to
ask what the actual rewards were for people that were subscribed.
They give you
Now
so many of
it's-
so many crowns, which is what their real money currency that you can go buy mounts, costumes, and pets with. There's nothing that's you can't buy weapons or armor and things like that with that at all. In fact, the whole game is unlocked for you without a subscription. They do have an ESO Plus subscription, which gives you 1,500 crowns a month, gives you bonus XP.
Bonus gold and bonus...
XP.
Well, that's what I said, yeah.
We got XP.
And gold.
Yeah, bonus XP, bonus gold, and I think bonus AP as well. I think they give you extra alliance points as well. I'm not sure on that one, though.
So there's also a way to collect these crowns.
Oh, research
without. There's a
Yeah.
way to collect crowns without having to.
No,
have a
crowns
subscription.
crowns are either sub or buy with real money.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
But they're only for vanity items. So basically,
Or
real money, the way you
expansions
look
when
at it.
Get expansions in the game.
Yeah, that's not for me because I'm not vain at all.
Right. All right, moving on. Nintendo to launch into third-party development on mobile devices. Nintendo is finally going out of their own little bubble.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, very. I told you guys it was coming. Nintendo is expecting to release its first mobile game before the end of 2015. The corporation's chief executive has claimed on Tuesday, Satoru Iwata brought an end to more than 2 years of speculation and debate by announcing that Nintendo would begin to co-develop games for smartphone devices and tablets. The landmark proposal is Nintendo's first major venture into third-party developing, and the result of a partnership with the mobile game specialist Dina, who will co-develop
it's
these
Dina.
titles. Yeah.
Dina sounds right to me.
They were very, very keen on stressing the fact that they are not going full third-party developer, and to the point where they decided to early announce their new console they're working on, codenamed the NX.
And
And-
that's about all we know of the console.
Yeah, I want to basically refer to it as a dedicated games platform with a brand new concept. I'm putting money on it's going to be VR.
I can see Nintendo trying to go back.
That's
And
interesting
VR
you would say that because everyone's kind of pushing that way. It would be cool if it was VR, but I would think that Nintendo, being as innovative as they are, they're usually the first ones to bust into a certain field, and now they're going to be one of the last ones to get into it if this is what they're going for. So
No, see, this is Nintendo
it's going
does.
to be interesting to
They're
see.
going to do VR with motion control.
Right. Like the whole the Wii aspect of it, sure. I don't want to be that mobile personally.
Right?
I can see a few things breaking with that concept.
Yeah, I'm just you're walking around the house, knocking everything over. That sounds like fun.
If you couldn't tell, I've lost a lot of faith in Nintendo's hardware development since the Wii.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's been pretty bad. And when they lose 95% of all third-party support because their system sucks, there is an issue, Nintendo. The Wii U was a disaster.
Yeah, the Wii U was a fail. Horribly.
But
hopefully them breaking into the mobile market will actually improve their overall quality because the mobile market's definitely the way to go because of the whole merging between phones and laptops. It's there's a finite line in between what's different now. So the quality of the mobile games are getting absolutely outstanding. If you've played the Evolve mobile game, the graphics on it are just absolutely amazing, and it's a puzzle-based game. But the graphics for, in between each, puzzle move, the turn, it's so vivid, and it looks like you're playing the actual game on PC. It's impressive.
This is a market that everybody's jumping on right now, and the reason being is how many people are walking around with a phone in their hand.
Right, exactly.
Everyone.
It's the biggest gaming console in the world right now,
Right. When was the last time you went out to dinner with all your friends and you didn't, pull out your phone? So
Right.
think about that.
We can go, but that's just because I forget my phone at home.
The other thing that's interesting about this breaking story that I read is that Nintendo is giving this Dina company about 1.25% of their stocks in their company, and vice versa, they get about 40% of Dina's stocks. So you can see how these companies are kind of really merging together, that 1.25%.
John Gakey in chat has me very, very on edge right now because he left me on a cliffhanger. Our fifth host has me on a cliffhanger right now. If anyone is really reading chat, I think Wii U was okay, but what, man? Spit it out.
Tell us, damn it! Tell us!
But it was okay.
Okay, that's off my chest. I want to explain.
What?
Nintendo explained that they have a new membership service coming out that's going to encompass the existing Nintendo 3DS Wii U systems, as well as smartphone and tablets, and the NX system. But that's all they said about it. And like Nintendo, they're being 100% tight-lipped about everything. Yes, we have a new system. Yes, it's codenamed NX. Yes, there's nothing else you're going to know about it. Have a wonderful life.
And don't worry, we'll change the code name 8 more times before the final release.
Exactly. The next time it'll be XNN.
Because we all know you're going to try to hack our system.
Kind of reminds me of like when people open up businesses and they wrote something mysterious coming soon, and then you drive by and all you do is look at that sign. All they want is they want the attention, but they're not telling us anything about the product. So we're just going to sit here in the dark like the butt that you just had just a few moments ago.
Yeah.
Word. All right.
That was a great butt, by the way.
That was perfect. Yeah. All right.
It's nice and round and.
Any more thoughts on Nintendo's Nintendo's announcement? I'm changing that subject fast. I'm getting out of there. Justin, subject change.
I'll say this: I want to know what their first game's going to be. I'm putting all the money on a really low-end quality like Super Mario Brothers.
It's good. Yeah, it's going to be
me
Mario.
in there for that for being a guess.
Mario something. I'm with you on that.
Oh, it's going to be Mario something. It has to be Mario something.
The Mario something out now for iOS.
Bring back 3D Mr. Game & Watch. Let's do this.
Oh, man. Nintendo's be like, yeah, we're going to give you guys the first ever full 3D game on your phone that you can move your phone with.
Oh, God.
They're going to have to include like those little racket things that they used to have for the Wii controllers, because they used to people used to throw them right through their TVs.
Oh, yeah,
They're
the
going to
wristband.
need those for your phone.
That'd be hilarious. All right, so James, Battlefield Hardline launch. What's up with this?
Battlefield Hardline. Battlefield Hardline was released 2 nights ago, a midnight launch, and it was available for PC, Xbox, and PS4. This was supposed to be a very smooth launch as compared to their previous launches from Battlefield 4. But they, of course, had some problems. EA had some problems. It was 2 days ago. Actually, I think it was last night, they started having some connectivity issues, and they chalked it up to a DDoS attack. They actually tweeted out and said this was, due to DDoS. This was due to an attack that they were having on the server. Which, EA has never had a smooth launch. They've always had, problems with their servers, especially since they've never stress test them with a large amount of people. and now they're claiming DDoSing. I'm tired of companies saying that they've been DDoS. I'm sure it does happen. I'm sure there is. But if you know that you're going to get attacked, if you know that you're going to get hurt, wouldn't you have some sort of DDoS protection in place? Wouldn't you have some sort of countermeasures in place? And that didn't happen with the Battlefield Hardline.
Hey,
And,
EA,
in
Kaspersky.
my opinion, when you say that you've been DDoS, you're just putting the responsibility, you're putting the problem on someone else that's 100% out of your control. Well, I don't believe that. So when someone says DDoS it, we've been DDoSed, blame whoever else, the hackers that are doing it to us. I would trust them, but I would try to verify it. They should be able to put up some sort of statistics, and there are none available for Hardline. So why?
Good point. Very good point. That's a
That is a
good
good
conspiracy theory we have going on. But,
not quite a conspiracy. It's more of a jam-spiracy theory,
I blame the Dutch.
I blame the Dutch. Honestly though,
They'll never suspect the Spanish Inquisition.
there's a lot of hacking going on for sure, but it is becoming the go-to excuse for these companies. Every time there's any kind of hiccup, oh, we were hacked. Uh-oh. Never mind, their server probably just crashed because they were idiots. Hey guys,
It's
Kaspersky.
big stresses. They don't do huge stress tests on their servers before they launch them. Everyone's trying to log in all at once. It's similar to them being DDoS, but it's literally just people trying to connect all at once. It's not an attack. It's more of a denial of service that they're able to provide, not a denial of service attack. So that's where I stand with that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was at the bar the other night, and somebody was fixing me a drink. Drink came out totally wrong. They put gin in it instead of rum. I totally got DDoSed.
You were totally that was a clear attack from
It was a DDoS attack.
from hackers. They were like, no, let's totally screw this guy over and give him the wrong alcohol. So DDoS all the way. No, this actually happened to me with World of Warcraft too. On the launch of World of Warcraft, they were having issues with the servers with the garrisons, and they chalked it up to DDoS attacks. Granted, Blizzard was able to provide some logs and show that they were attacked, but it wasn't concurrent with the times that the servers were going down. So it's kind of hit or miss when it actually is happening.
I think it is just that. It's just a go-to excuse.
Yeah, that's what it's become.
Plain and
I'm just
simple.
tired of it. I would much prefer a company say, "Hey, sorry, we messed up. Here's a discount on another game, or here's some extra bonus time. We messed up. You weren't able to play the first night. We're gonna fix it. Own up to it. Fix it."
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. If you're gonna be in London
I
this
wish.
year at some point, Minecon 2015 tickets go on sale March 27th.
Yes, that's awesome. We talked about it on a previous show that it was going to be in London. They said that the first 5,000 tickets for Minecon are going on sale on Friday, so that's awesome. I'm thinking about going. I don't know if I can afford a plane ticket quite yet to London, but I think I will be available for those dates, and that would be great. First batch goes on sale March 27th at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is actually 1 p.m. I believe in Eastern Time, and the second batch will go on sale the following day, Saturday, 12 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So look for those if you're interested. They're going to be about 194 U.S. dollars. It says 129 euros. So, and it's a full 2-day event. So check it out.
Nice. I would love to go to one of those. That's a lot of money and a lot of time for a single game like that.
Yeah, and if you think Boston's expensive, try going over the pond.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. You're looking at a lot of money for a plane ticket, that's for sure.
And then the hotel, and then the accommodations.
I haven't looked into it, but the previous announcement said that there would be packages and discounts on hotels if you do purchase one of these tickets. So I'd have to look at the website more thoroughly when they start posting these advertisements. But this was just an article I came across, and I was very excited about it. So
nice. There you guys go. Minecon coming up. It's going to be in the U.S., I believe, in 2016. So if you can't make it over the pond this year, wait till next year. They usually do it flip-flop every other year. So
there'll be more tickets on sale for the U.S. one, but they're going to sell out a lot faster. So
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Get ready for that refresh button. All right, the esports world. We have esports. Justin, I'm gonna let you take the stage first because James just got through a lot of talking. Give him a little bit of a breather.
Okay. Well, it was a major weekend for esports this weekend. I was upset I was so busy this weekend that I couldn't watch even half of it. I was really only able to watch part of the WGLNA, which is World of Tanks Grand Finals, which took place this weekend, along with the Intel Extreme Masters Finals in Kauai, as well as the ESL One Kauai tournament for Counter-Strike Go took place. For World of Tanks, the finals came down to Elevate and Lamp, the two teams I had going third and fourth place.
I love
the
Lamp.
teams I had going.
I love Rock.
And the teams I had going first and second were third and fourth, sadly. Team Elevate ended up winning, but the main highlight of the whole thing didn't take place during that match. It actually took place during I Love Lamp and Simp, and Joe has the video pulled up.
I do.
And I was lucky enough to catch this on Twitch
So
while I
was
was
I.
packing for my Tennessee trip. So that's, yeah.
It came down games to 3, with I Love Lamp in the lead, down to the last minute with Simp getting ready to tie it up. And this is what happened. It's kind of crazy. You'll have to see this. If you play tanks, you'll understand this. But, James, what am I supposed to do right now?
You're going to want to hit screen share, right?
No, you're supposed to say
No.
roll film. Jeez,
Oh,
you're missing your
let's
cue.
roll the tape! Yes!
Oh, that beautiful bean footage.
Roll it! Yes! 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 Yes!
Mind you, this is Simp getting ready to capture their base.
And if I knew where we were in the time, I'd do a little bit of voiceover, but I'll break this down a little bit once the video is done.
The video is done.
Okay. Now, during the video, you could see that Simp was taking over their base. And usually when you're capping, it's almost a guaranteed win. But near the end, you see, I forget who it was.
One of those people I'm getting ready to look at right now.
Baby Halo, there we go. Baby Halo just came out of nowhere and started wiping them out, and the cap was at 100%. Now, in tanks and in all other wargaming games, even if the cap's at 100%, if a tank dies that was on the cap, it resets the timer just for like another 10-15 seconds, and it does it again for each tank that dies before it officially says that it's game over and the team that capped it won. So the fact that Baby Halo was able to time that perfectly for those 3 tanks was insane.
Killed all 3
And one of the hosts has only seen that happen twice.
That was a hell of a win. If they were going to go out with a win into the finals, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, just the ending of that match was phenomenal to watch. Now, there was also some other things that went on in esports that I really wish I would have been able to watch. You had the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships that went on. For League of Legends, the finals came down to TSM and Team World Elite, which is from China. TSM's from the US. And TSM ended up winning it. And
Go
for
US!
the StarCraft 2, you had Zest, who was Protoss, and Trap, who was Protoss, as well in the finals. And it ended up being Zest that won it.
U.S.
Do you want to say
representing.
something?
All right, that's awesome. We
Can
also
we start a chant like USA? USA?
USA. Well, actually, their chant is TSM, TSM.
Well, regardless, it's USA that they're anyway. You're missing the point, Justin.
S&M,
Fail.
S&M.
If we started up like a league, the four of us, I think we should have Hulk Hogan's old like song from when he was in the WWF playing, don't you? Like, I am a real American. I can see all four of us with that. We'll come out with flags.
That's going to be World of Warships. See, me and Justin are starting a World of Warships team. We're going to go pro on that one, I swear.
Let's do it.
Or try
Let's do it.
Try to, anyway. We're going to talk a lot about World of Warships in a little bit, because we've been doing a lot of that, and now that it's no longer on NDA, we have a lot to talk about warships.
World of Warships.
But before we get into that mess, there was one more thing about the esports, and that was the Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament.
Correct. Sunday was the grand finals of the South by Southwest Street Fighters, Ultra Street Fighters Invitational. It was hosted in Austin, Texas. It was really, really fun to watch, and I stood there on the edge of my seat watching some of these matches. I personally am a Street Fighter player, and I picked up a lot of good tips just from watching these guys play. There was a $20,000 award for winning this, and it was on the line for it came down to E.G. Momochi, who was 6-1 throughout the tournament, and he played as Ken, versus Kazunoko, who was 7-0. He was undefeated against his Yoon, and his Yoon is incredible. Watching him, I've never seen someone play Yoon the way that Kazunoko did. It was really, really entertaining. Very few people actually used the Ultra characters. They used all the classic characters, and these are players that have been playing since the original Street Fighter 4 came out. So they're definitely pros when it comes down to it. They both use the gamepad, the game sticks, as opposed to the gamepad, the controller. They were both very, very, very high-level matches, and it was extremely entertaining to watch. So congratulations to E.G. Momochi, who took home $20,000 for winning the South by Southwest Street Fighters Invitational. So
that's
awesome.
lot of money, because right now the U.S. dollar is a bit higher than the yen. So
Right.
Yes.
that's
for,
awesome.
For $20,000 to play some video games, we need to see some more pros out there. You're able to do it. You're able to make money doing it. So get out
Seeing
there and
as
start
the
practicing.
esports world is growing at a rate of 400% per year, not going to be a problem.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no, it's 400% per year. So look at these amounts are going to go through the roof. You know, people are starting to win millions of dollars to be on professional teams. So it's going to get like
I
it's going to
won
get to the point where it's like basketball, even more. So
15 years ago, 16 years ago, I think it was. Long time ago. No, more than that, 18 years ago. Holy crap. I played a tournament.
you're old.
Yeah. I played Mortal Kombat 4 tournament, a professional tournament. I won $200.
200 for a fighting game tournament.
What'd you do with the money? That's the question.
I was in Disneyland. What do you think I did with it? I bought a Donald Duck hat.
Making sign
You
my
bought
own
Ninja
draft
Dice.
Ninja dice.
It's gone a long way, man. I love esports. One of these days I'll compete in it, even though I'm getting too old. It's one of those sports, another one of those stupid sports where you actually have to be young. Now I feel like an old fart. You guys are not helping me out here.
From $200 to $20,000. That's what, a 4,000% increase in the past 18 years of prizes.
Back in my day, we didn't win no $20,000.
You won yourself a shiny wooden nickel and had to walk back home up the hill with
In the snow.
In the snow.
Crazy kids these days. Back in my day, we didn't play video games. We looked at the sun all day until our eyes bled.
Nobody paid us for that.
And we liked it.
That was our esport. Their iSport. All right. Before we get into World of Warships, because it's going to happen in depth when we get into what we've been playing this week, except for Chuck, I'm going to get into let's get into our review of the week. This is going to be Legends of Eisenwald. We promised you guys last week we were doing this. Chuck, Joe, or me, and Justin have played it all week, and we've got a lot to say about it, actually. We've all four given it our own rating. And Chuck changes the rating on me. You messed me up, dude. We all three did a rating, and we gave it an overall official score as a average between all three of us. So if multiple hosts do a rating, it becomes the average is the actual score. So let's get right into it, guys. Basically, Legends of Eisenwald is a strategy game set in medieval times. You're on a simple game board, actually pretty small. It's on a hexagon-based game board. When you're in combat, you have your infantry units in the front line. You have your archer unit second line. You have your casters third line. That's exactly what you have. There's not much strategy in positioning because there's not much positioning to do. But it's what units you put in those versus like if you have a front line made up of two nobles that are using swords, they play a lot differently than a knight who's using a mace versus a monk who's using a mace. They have different initiatives, they have different strengths and weaknesses and abilities. So, and even pikemen are the same in the front line. In the back line, your archers. Do you have crossbowmen? Do you have archers with special recurves? What do you have with them? And where they positioned are is going to give you an advantage. Same in the back line. So there is a bit of strategy to it. It's not as complex as other games I've seen. That's one part I enjoyed about it. It's got a pretty in-depth story in an open world, an overhead map. That's just a game overview. Before I get into my score, I'm going to let Justin go first.
Well, the overview map of it is a lot like Mount and Blade, if you've ever played any of those games. It runs the same exact way. You click and your character goes off to that destination, and you can change its location, and it just follows this standard path. And the combat of it I thought was actually quite enjoyable, and it was pretty minuscule, but it made the combat go by a little bit quicker than most RTS games I play. And its story of it I actually got really engrossed into. I was streaming that the other day, and I was having a lot of fun trying to narrate the story a little bit.
I did that, you copycat.
I actually didn't watch your stream, so I had no idea that you did that.
I use voices!
I didn't use voices. I don't have a good plethora of voices for that.
But, honey, it was a wonderful time at the pub.
Well, my dear, do you have proof of this?
Okay, watch Joe's stream of it. It will be a lot more entertaining than mine.
You darn kids!
But I give it a rating of 4 golden bananas. I was debating between 3 and 4 a lot, so I would actually say 3.5, but I can't give a half a banana rating, so I rounded up.
All right. Well, I'll get into detail in a second as to why you gave it that rating, but first I want to remind everybody, in Ninja Monkeys, we have a leaning scale. So if you are 1 to 5 golden bananas, your game is good. If you're 5, you're perfect. If you're 1, you should probably give it a shot, play it, wait for a sell for it before you play it, but it's worth a mention. However, on the flip side of that, if it's a bad game that you should not have your attention on, we give it poo piles. 1 to 5 poo piles. If you have 5 stinking poop piles, run away from that game forever and never look back. Pretend it didn't exist.
Like E.T.
Yeah, like E.T. Classic 5 poos. All right, so Justin, why did you give it 4 golden bananas out of 5?
I really liked the story, and I think that will definitely add to the game a lot. I probably would have actually given it a true 4, not the 3.5. I would have actually liked to give it, but I would have probably given it the true 4 if its mapping for its quest were a little bit better. I don't think it was quite there yet, and the explanations for where some of the locations aren't quite there.
All right. Chuck, what about you?
Well, I'm an Aquarius. I'm 5'10".
What do you think about the game, you idiot?
Oh, I mean the game. The game. Sorry.
Long walks on the beach.
I do like walks on the beach.
Not long ones, though. Not long
Legend. Yeah, Legend. Legend is it's an interesting role-playing game. You get to choose between 3 characters. I'm the kind of person where when I get into a role-playing game, I want to be able to really develop characters. So, for instance, you'll hear me talk about one of the games that I'm playing right now, but I want to be able to name the character. I want to look at stats. I want to look at all these different things. So one thing that struck me was I wasn't able to really fine-tune the character that I picked to get down to stats, to a lot of the things that to me make a role-playing game what they are. So that was kind of on the negative end of how I developed and how my characters developed. In terms of like what you do, the maps, there's some gorgeous graphics going on with the game. You're able to go around the map, get from place to place, heal up. You've got different towns. You can recruit different people. You've got 3 basic classes. I picked the ranged character, who is the Baroness, when formerly named Mogina the Sexy Enchantress. For those of you who played with me, you know who she is. But overall, it's got a lot of the pieces that you look for in a role-playing game. I think I was on the verge of giving it a 2 golden banana, and I kind of rethought it since our debut. And I think, what I want to see from a role-playing game is I want to be able to have more customization with my character. I want to be able to do some role-playing. I want to be able I love getting nice new items that just make your character be able to kick butt and coordinate things. So for me, I think it has some work to do with just how the characters feel, the flow of the game. Some things like that could really make this a much better game. But overall, I'm going to give it a 3 golden banana.
Nice. All right, for me, I really did enjoy the game. I got quite a bit into it. I got quite far into it, actually, surprisingly. I chose the caster hero. And
I chose Knight, by the way, people. I picked the other class.
You went melee.
Yeah.
So my hero stood in the back and buffed people and debuffed them with an attack that only works when they were right on top of him. However, there were a lot of positives and negatives to this game. The positive is the gameplay was actually entertaining. I actually enjoyed the combat quite a bit, even though there are some pretty dominant graphic glitches, especially in the essence of a noble. They seem to be very, very twitchy, and like to stab in the air constantly when other people are attacking. And one of the big things is if one of your guys gets counterattacked as they're attacking, they'll do the animation in time with being stabbed. But as soon as that enemy NPC stabs your guy, the enemy NPC goes ugh, and then your guy stabs him. Those very noticeable delays in animations that are clunky. The music is phenomenal. It's really really
that
good.
was really good.
I'm willing to play the game just for the dang soundtrack. It's good. The
Which is
graphics,
always awesome. That's always a plus for me. It's like the soundtrack, because that's what really engrosses you in the game. That's what really makes you feel like you're there. That's what gets you your attention. It's definitely the soundtrack. It's very overlooked.
And you kind of feel like you're at a medieval fair listening to this soundtrack sometimes. Am I right?
Yeah, you do. Has that Renaissance feel to it, that's for sure.
No, it totally does too. Yeah.
The one thing that actually drove me up a wall is how poorly the quest system is executed. I mean, poorly. And when you get into later chapters, it gets even worse because you get a ton of quests. Some of the main quests I found out finally today, because there was no tooltip that told me or anything like that if you click on this little magnifying glass, it will actually put a pointer on your map on where your quest objective is. However, when you only have 3 out of 9 of your quests have that ability, and the other 6 quests don't give you a hint at all about where you're supposed to be going, it's frustrating as hell. I mean, it made me turn the game off a couple times, as I just didn't want to deal with it.
Welcome to the first 9 years of World of Warcraft.
Right? If it wasn't for that, there were a lot of typos in the wording in the quests. It definitely felt like it was originally designed for a different language other than English, because they didn't translate it properly to English in a lot of areas. Little clunky trying to read it out on the air, that's for sure. But the gameplay was a lot of fun, and when you did get into the story was really good, really enjoyable. It had a lot of that medieval intrigue, if you will. It would have gotten 4, if not 4.5, if it wasn't for that really bad quest problem. and the graphic glitches that were just annoying to a sin. I gave it 3 golden bananas. So that is a total score of 3.5 golden bananas for Legends of Eisenwald. That is still a very good score. We highly recommend it. Give it a shot. If you're into strategy in particular, if you like that medieval setting, give this game a shot. Legends of Eisenwald, worth your time.
Oh, banana.
Bananas. All right,
We can
guys.
almost make 2 banana splits.
Now, we have the big monkey in the room, and that is World of Warships.
Are we sure that's a monkey?
It's more of a sheep, isn't it? A word of war sheep.
World of Warships? And when I saw that in your notes, I pictured a bunch of sheep with like rocket launchers and machine guns strapped to their back.
Fire us the torpedoes, man.
It's Sheep Simulator.
Oh boy. Across warships
Goat
with
Sims
Goat
on
Simulator.
steroids.
Oh my.
All right, that's completely off topic. Anyway, World of Warships is now in closed beta, no longer an NDA. I know that, for instance, James has been streaming the snot out of it. He put in
I
a
did
ton
2
of
nights
hours.
in a row, 7 hours straight of streaming World of Warships, and it didn't even feel like 7 hours. It felt like I was playing for a half hour, and
Yeah.
the time went by so fast. I looked over and saw the sun coming up, and I was like, I should probably go to sleep. I have about an hour, so it
Yeah.
was a fantastic time. I've been playing it nonstop ever since, not streaming content, but just grinding. I have all the way up to tier 6 now. I've been playing the aircraft carriers, which are absolutely phenomenal. So much fun to play. And
They
I've
are.
been perfecting
I'm a
my
destroyer
torpedo
guy.
game.
I'm a
All
destroyer,
about
man.
the torpedoes.
I'm
All
a
about the
destroyer.
torpedoes.
I think
So,
carriers.
are you about the torpedoes at all?
I'm all about the torps, all the torps, no treble.
You see, the thing is, though. Oh God. You see, the thing is, though, they're going to be nerfing the torpedoes when it comes to the airplanes on carriers because it sucks that you guys can launch 2 sets of torpedoes right on top of a ship. They cannot get out of the way. It's ridiculous. They've got to fix that.
Yes. That's the goal. That's the technique, though. I mean, yeah, maybe they'll nerf it a little bit, but I can't see them nerfing it too much because they don't do as much damage as normal torpedoes.
They
So
still
even if you
wreck.
hit them with 5
I get
all 5
hit
torpedoes, you're
on
not
my
gonna sink them.
destroyer. I'm done. By that double airplane hit, I'm done. So I see a bunch of planes coming at me when I'm going after a carrier. I'm just thinking, holy crap, and I'm booking as fast as I can, dodging left and right, trying to get to the carrier before you guys take me out. But mind you, yes, 1 solid launch of my torpedoes on your carrier, you're done.
Oh, absolutely.
But you guys gotta have
3 or
to hit
4,
2
boom.
solid hits on me
I'm-
before I'm
I'm
done.
cracked in half. I'm falling. I'm sinking to the bottom of the ocean, and I'm sleeping with the fishes.
Yep.
All right, guys. So the 4 major ships in World of Warships is Destroyer, which is your fast, maneuverable ship. Not much armor, heavy hitting with torpedoes. That is their number 1 objective. Their main artillery is not that powerful. You only got mostly 4 to 6 guns most. Torpedoes. Second one is the Cruiser. That's kind of your overall ship. That has really good main battery. Not as good as the next I'm talking about. Has a decent speed, decent armor. It's your middle ground ship. All right. And later on tiers, you do get torpedoes. They're not as good as a destroyer, but they are great at taking out destroyers. The third ship is the battleship. The classic, you sink my battleship. Heavy armor, slow as dirt, slow to aim, slow to reload, but if it hits you, it will destroy you like nothing. If you're a good aim, I mean a really good aim, you play a battleship, you're deadly. And of course, the 4th class, which is the carrier.
Carriers!
The carrier plays
carriers.
differently than all the other ships. It has no armaments really to speak of that protect it, except for its airplanes. It's all about its airplanes. That's all you do. Most carriers will stay off in the distance, just circling as they launch their aircraft off to go and gun down everybody. What's different aircraft do you guys get on the carriers, Justin and James?
You can get fighters, you can get torpedo planes, and you can get dive bombers.
And if you play Japanese, kamikaze! Just kidding.
And and there's upgrades for each carrier has upgrades which will allow you to have a different capacity of each type of plane. So
Yes.
you get to modify it to your play style. If you want to do a lot of anti-air and just take fighters, which fighters only attack other aircraft, they can't attack any ships. You can just take a whole bunch of fighters and then just run in and gun on torpedo
I
aircraft.
wish
so that your
more
team
carriers
doesn't
on
get
my team did that.
but it's not as rewarding or as fun as taking them out with torpedoes. So running with 2 torpedoes, you have the ability to, as Joe was saying, sandwich them in and do some massive damage. And then the dive bombers. Dive bombers are a lot of fun too. It's just all about how you place them, how you make them do their attack approach. So, and a dive bomber, I mean, no matter what, it's always going to hit the target. So,
The graphics are extremely realistic in the game. It does feel like you're on a ship.
oh, absolutely. The only thing
I'm
that they're
on a
missing.
boat.
I think someone mentioned it in the forums, and they got a lot of lashback about it. But the only thing that the game's actually missing is that the wake trails do not last as long as they should.
Yes,
There's
and they're not as
enough
choppy
waves
as they
and
should be.
wakes. But they are working on that. That someone mentioned on the forums, and it's not such a big deal that's going to affect the game.
I was told they're actually going to be adding more muzzle flash on the main batteries.
I've heard more muzzle flash. I heard that they're going to be adding wave effects with
Yes.
weather, and you'll start seeing some more bob from the water when the weather's rolling in. You're going to see possibly more of that in
Oh, that would
upcoming
be
releases,
so epic if they had that in the game. Maybe how much harder it would be to have to aim your guns when you're going up and down.
Oh, I mean, it'd be great. I mean,
I would love
Battlefield
it.
4 had something similar to that where you're playing on a map and then a storm rolls in, a thunderstorm, a hurricane, and the waves start crashing and it's throwing you all over the place and it makes it just so much more difficult. You're riding on a jet ski and you start getting launched underneath these huge waves. I'm
That's what
hoping
planes would be like.
Yeah, I'm hoping something like that would happen in World of Warships, excuse me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what updates they have in the future.
So far, World of Warships is by far my favorite wargaming game.
Oh, no doubt. No
And
doubt.
it's
It's
only
the mix
in
between the
closed beta.
tactics, the big guns, and the fact that, the whole naval battle scene is the most exciting when it comes to, the explosions, things blowing apart. It's not just,
Oh
a
man.
tank in the distance blowing up. You actually feel the explosion.
Yeah, I love
when
being
you're-
on my cruiser, just hearing that kaboom, 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 and I'm just launching these artillery at people.
You can feel it when you know you got a good shot
But
off and you know that guy's gonna sink.
My favorite thing in the world is when I'm on my tiny little destroyer and I go right broadside up, right next to a giant warship, and I just launch torpedo after torpedo at his ass, and I hear that ka-thunk, 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 and he just flames, mess, dying,
that guy's-
everything.
You know, on the other end, that guy is screaming his head off.
Like, oh my god!
You and your torps!
You
Damn,
sank
boy.
my battleship! I had to do the obvious joke. Sorry.
Oh, everyone's been saying it. Trust me. Actually, the thing that everyone's been saying in chat, and I don't know really where it comes from or why, is poi, P-O-I, and that seems to be the big thing in chat. What it means, I have yet to discover. But if you
Point of interest? What is it?
the poi. They just poi. I guess it's like a lol type thing or a trolling thing. I don't
Probably.
know.
I have no idea.
But it's getting poid left and right. So please, if you start playing the closed beta, do not poi. That's
Do
all I
not.
can say.
Do not. We have a guy in our guild master in ESO, Vin. He's hilarious. He's pretty much one of those guys that only plays like RPGs, MMOs, but he is a mastermind for naval history. I mean, this guy's a genius at it. We got him to play World of Warships at PAX East. He's in the closed beta right now, and he's played more than I have. The guy is hooked, and he's good. He's getting on our team.
Whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, he does not have a choice.
He's trolling the forums. The guy he's hooked. We got him. Now we gotta get Fred in. See, he's in chat right now. Actually, Kareneth. So it's an amazing game. We're gonna be streaming it probably after the show. Myself and Justin, and probably gonna get James involved if we can. And we're
Oh yeah,
gonna,
definitely. I won't be able to stream, but I can host
No.
you guys with Rob and I'll play
Yeah.
with you. So
Yeah, jump on in. We'll play some World of Warships. You guys can check it out, see what it looks like. I'll be on my destroyer and my cruiser. I play American cruiser and a Japanese destroyer. And then, of course, Justin and James with their carriers and whatever else they decide to play.
Aircraft carrier or cruiser is probably what I'll be playing.
You're like